Welcome to another edition of Blood Feud Radio, where Rhys and I talk about everything that we want to talk about in the world of professional wrestling and in other things. Today's topics are, we have our top 10, like we said last week, the top 10 announcers of all time. We're not talking about duos, we're talking about announcers in general. And then we're going to talk about Cena's run so far this time around, his heel turn, and everything that has happened so far in his retirement tour. So, Rhys, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for this episode. Two reasons. Just because, first of all, this is the first time I'm going to deep dive into how I felt about John Cena's heel turn and now seeming babyface run that we've got. And second of all, I feel like I'm going to, weird people out with my top 10 commentators or announcers, however you want to put it. So I'm excited to do this. How about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. And I did a deep dive into, I wanted to make my top 10 list different in a way, but at the same time, I wanted it to be my opinion, because that's what we do here. It's our opinion.
Of course, man. Of course.
And I have 20 names, but I have the honorable mention that we can get to afterwards. We'll just tell our top 10 from 10 to 9 or 10 to 1, and then we'll go from there and list off.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to give your list first and then me, or how do you want to do it?
I mean, we can go. We'll start at 10, and we'll both give our number 10s.
Okay. I'm all right for this.
All right,
no worries.
Number 10, I have a guy that's been around a while, and he's still in the business, Mike Tenay. I have Mike Tenay at number 10.
That's a solid choice. Do you want to give your reasons for why he's on your top 10, and then I'll jump in.
I think Mike Tenay just has that voice. He has that and he's been around the business long enough to be able to he's just a credible dude. No matter where he goes, he ends up doing just a tremendous job. And he's always been that way. He's always been a guy that carries himself really well. And he's not the number one guy, but he does have that voice. Like I said, I can hear him talk and be like, that's Tenay. Yeah,
you're totally right. He does have a unique commentary voice. I agree with that totally. Yeah, and the one thing that always got me about Mike Tenay is and this is what I love about commentators, and you'll notice this about my list, and it really shows how I like my commentary to be. If he gets excited, then I'm excited. That's what I like about Mike Tenay. Yeah.
Who's your number 10?
My number 10. I think this is going to piss some people off because he's so I think some people should probably think he's in the top 5. No, my number 10 is Joey Styles.
That's fair. That's fair because he's in my top 10, just not by the. We'll get to him, but he's in my top 10. Yes.
So he made my top 10 simply just because of his credibility. And again, this is another trait that you might notice once you get closer to the end of my list, that I like my commentators to be able to tell me the moves that are going on in the ring. I also like a little bit of entertainment, which Joey Styles has in buckets, especially when you go back to his ECW days. And it was just solo commentary, which is very hard to do. So all due respect to him. Don't get me wrong. his later Monday Night Raw run for a little bit was okay. And then when they put him back on the WWE ECW, lackluster, but that was not his fault. It was more to do with the product that he was having to, like, commentate on. But his relationship with Taz while he was there was good. So yeah, Joey makes my top 10 for sure.
So coming in at 9 for me is the living legend Larry Zbyszko. His stuff in WCW, he was the king before the king. He was that take jabs at you on the side, but he did it to the he did it to he made an art out of it. He made an art out of being the commentary heel.
So this is interesting for me because I've not seen a lot of Larry Zbyszko's work as a commentator.
It was Nitro. He did a lot of Nitros.
Yeah. So I'd really like to go and have a look at some of that. If it sounds like a lot of commentary that I'd be quite into, to be honest. I'd like to look into a bit of Larry Zbyszko, 100%.
Who do you have at number 9?
My number 9 is, and I think this might surprise you, and I think like this might surprise people that this guy is actually on my list. My number 9 is Excalibur from AEW, and I know that he's only been at it like a little bit in All Elite Wrestling, but this guy is on it constantly, like all the way through these like 7-8 hour pay-per-views that AEW put on, and then he goes on to Dynamite, and then he still kills it. He tells you exactly what's going on in the ring. He gets excited about all the hard-hitting maneuvers, especially when you're watching those classic AEW Texas death matches. You can really hear the emotion in his voice, and he's on it. He knows exactly what's going on the show. You very rarely hear him make a mistake, and he's just got that really interesting, unique voice that I think if you hear Excalibur, you know you're listening to Excalibur, and I think that's a very important trait for a commentator to have.
He did not make my list, but that's a good pick. I mean, he next to JR is probably the two voices that you automatically associate AEW with.
I would agree with that. Yeah, 100%. I would totally agree with that. I just think he's severely underrated, and I think mainly it's because of the amount of time that AEW has been going on. Obviously, 6 years. It's he's getting a footing in the game. 6 years is nothing to sneeze at, but Excalibur, even if AEW closes down tomorrow, I think has a really bright future in commentary if he ended up somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Hell yeah. No, what's your number 8?
Number 8 is the one, the only Joey Styles. I put Joey there. He had one of the most iconic moments in commentator history when he did all the ECW pay-per-views by himself, essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
That's one of the things. And then when he walked out on WWE because he wasn't allowed to call them wrestlers anymore, that whole promo, that put him from being you're okay to top 10. Like that moment just created the aura of Joey Styles, and that's why he's at number 8 for me.
I totally respect that, and I think that you can really hear the passion in his voice. We go back to that passion that I was talking about before in his voice when he talks about the wrestling, and especially when he gets into the nitty-gritty. I feel like Joey Styles is obviously preferred type of wrestling is a bit more of the hardcore stuff, but he loves the cruiserweights. And especially when you're listening to him commentate over those cruiserweights, you can really hear the excitement in his voice, calling all these all these like Spanish style maneuvers, these lucha maneuvers, and like the Japanese influence on that division as well.
Who do you have at 8? What's your number 8?
At number 8, again, I think this is going to be a surprise for people. My number 8 is Nigel McGuinness. Go on.
He did not make my top 20. He didn't make my honorable mention. It was hard for me not to have him in my honorable mention, at least. I do like I just feel like he hasn't done enough on the commentary table for me to be able to put him in that. But he is very good.
I can understand that, and I got very interested in Nigel McGuinness all the way back. Do you remember the original United Kingdom Championship tournament in Blackpool a long time ago when Tyler Bate won? And then they brought him on for commentary for NXT UK and then NXT later on. He has one of those voices, again, that gets you interested in what would be considered a average standard match. To Nigel McGuinness is interested, and he makes me interested more in the match. I like to hear what he says. I also quite like it when it's a little bit further into his career, into AEW, especially on Collision, when he leaned a little bit more into the heelish commentary that he did. I think he's very quick-witted with it, and his association with other people that are on my list brings him up to my top 10, because I think he has great chemistry with multiple commentary partners, which merits his spot for me. Like, not only his own talent puts him on the list, but his ability to work with multiple different people. And I know he doesn't have as much experience as other people on here, but yeah, he makes my top 10 definitely.
So before we move on to number 7, I forgot he came in here a little bit ago. I hope he's still out there watching. What's up, Duelist? I'm doing great. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy the rest of our list.
Hell yeah, what's going on, Matt?
Number 7 is going to be my hot take of the whole list. It's going to. This is where I'm going to be the agitator. I am going to say at number 7, Michael Cole.
Okay. Do you think that's going to annoy people because he's not in like your top 5, or because he's there in general?
I think it's going to be, why isn't he 1, 2, or 3? I think that's what a lot of people are going to say. Well, Michael Cole, where he's very good, and he's only as good as the person sitting next to him.
Okay.
Because I like, there's times where, like, he was great with, like, when he was paired with the King towards the end of the King's run. Great. I loved it. The coal mine, fantastic work. Then it kind of went meh for a while. Then Pat McAfee came and, like, brought him back up. And him with Wade Barrett makes me sleepy. I don't know. I'm just not a Wade Barrett commentator guy. I love him in the ring, but just not my dude on the mic. And Corey Graves, take him or leave him for me, really. He didn't make my top 25. So Cole he's as good as his person that he's with. And I just don't think he's good enough to be in the top 10, just not in the top 5.
Okay, that's fair. And I think you've got to take into account his tenure as well. Like, he's been there like 28 years, is it? 27, 28 years. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of time.
If someone leaves him out of his top 10, then they got issues, because, I mean, he started off as a backstage dude doing interviews. I'm pretty sure The Rock called him an ugly hermaphrodite at one point, and
now 100%. I think he did, yeah.
Now he's the voice of the WWE. So, I mean,
well, look how long he's been going for. I think the first WrestleMania he commentated, if I'm wrong, it was WrestleMania 15. So, I was way back in 1999. So, yeah. It's funny that you should mention Michael Cole, because next on my list, number 7, is Taz. Taz is my number 7.
Taz made my honorable mention. He's the third person down on my honorable mention, so he made 13-ish. But yeah, good pick.
Taz made my top 10 because not only because he's a good color commentator, whether he wants to be a little bit of a heel in TNA or when he was like an alliance commentator, no matter who you put him with, he is great. You put him with Michael Cole, he's a great color commentator with, he has good chemistry with. You put him with your Jim Ross. You go watch the 2004, 2005 Royal Rumble. Great commentary duo with Jim Ross. Unbelievable. In AEW right now, great commentary work with whoever he's with, like whether that be Tony Schiavone, whether that be Excalibur. There is a lot of people on that list that he works very, very well with.
Again, he made my honorable mention. It was hard not to put Taz in there. It's just I'm not a huge. My favorite stuff with Taz is when he was the Aces and Eights commentator.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When he was like one of the heel commentators in TNA, I think he did some of his best work there. Yeah, I agree.
Number 6 is going to upset a lot of people. Is Jerry Lawler.
He's my number 6 as well.
Yeah, he's just outside the top 5. It's one of those things. He's as good as the person he's with. And
yes,
Jim Ross, sorry but not sorry. Jim Ross carried him a little for a majority of that. Jim Ross was the commentator, and the King was just that quick-witted, ripping on everybody kind of thing, and just saying puppies.
It was a total flip in the air for me whether I put Taz in front of Jerry or Jerry in front of Taz, because I give them similar credit for similar reasons, like you say. I think Jerry was great when he was with Jim Ross, did his best work with him, good chemistry. Jerry was also good when he was with Vince. However, like you say, he's only as good as the person next to him. I mean, like you just said there with his with the coal mine run with Michael Cole. I didn't like that. I just don't. There was something about that I don't think they had very good chemistry. It just didn't really work for me. So Jerry Lawler loses points there, but it's total by association with JR that he's in my top 10. He is number 6 because of the Attitude Era run with Jim Ross. He would maybe be number 9, maybe out of the top 10 if it wasn't for that run with Jim Ross.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah.
My number 5 is an absolute legend.
Oh, okay.
And he had. I watch a lot of sports, listen to baseball on the radio when I was growing up. And Gordon Stoley had a voice his voice alone made him number 5.
Yeah.
It was just one of those it's old timey wrestling. It's just smooth, and that's why he's number 5. Gordon Stoley.
He's one of the pioneers as well. Am I wrong? I think Jim Ross gives a lot of credit to Gordon Stoley for influencing the way he commentates. I think Tony Schiavone says he was one of the reasons why he bases the way he commentates on Gordon Stoley. He has influenced a lot of announcers throughout the years.
Yeah. So, who do you have at number 5?
My number 5. This is where I put Michael Cole.
Okay.
And yeah, I couldn't put him any lower than this, as much as I would like to, but I can't put him above the 4 below him just because I enjoy them way too much. But I think he deserves to be recognized as one of the greatest of all time, especially now that he hasn't got Vince McMahon in his ear yapping away. I think he's improved immensely. Like I say, the initial run with Pat McAfee, very entertaining to me. I think ever since Pat has kept on coming back and back, those, it's diminished a little bit, the return, but I think it's still a good chemistry that they both have. Obviously, Michael Cole with Taz on SmackDown back in the day, in my opinion, in the noughties, I was always a Michael Cole and Taz guy over a Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross.
Okay.
Just my opinion. When it became the Ruthless Aggression era, I preferred my Michael Cole and my Taz. So yeah, that's where I put my Michael Cole. What's your number 4? I'm interested now. I feel like we're gonna have the similar names here.
You know what, McMahon? Jesse Ventura is my number 4.
Oh,
Uh,
honorable mention for me. Honorable mention.
Jesse, I grew up with Jesse. Jesse and Monsoon, Jesse and McMahon doing all the commentary. It didn't
Yeah.
matter it didn't matter if it was Monsoon or McMahon. Jesse was there. And it's the voice, and just how he just conducted himself. You know what I mean? Like he was the prototypical heel commentator again. Like he was best friends with Andre when he turned heel, and
Yeah.
like he was best friends with all the heels, and he would be like, you know what, McMahon, and like he would just go off on like a tangent in the middle of the match about how he hated Hulk Hogan. And I mean, little kid me was thinking, oh, it's a heel, or he's a bad guy and he just hates Hulk Hogan. Well, no, he hated him for multiple reasons. It was actually real life.
Yeah.
Later down the line, I learned about what was really going on. But
he was working himself into a shoot, brother. Every single time he commentated.
Well, number 4 is Jesse for me. And here's a shout out. Matt Doulis comes in. His number 5 is Don West.
Don West is a great one. I was having a conversation with Matt just before we came into this pod, and his top 5 was really interesting to me. And when he said Don West, I'm not even going to lie to you, I completely forgot about Don West, but I would definitely put him in an honorable mention.
Yeah, he's definitely an honorable mention for me as well.
Yeah.
So
my number 4. My number 4, this is where I put Gorilla Monsoon.
Okay.
The voice of the 80s. One of the greatest to do it. When you learn about all the stuff that he did backstage for the company as well, and all the stuff that he did for production, really cements himself as one of the greatest. Gorilla Monsoon not only had the iconic voice, he had the moments that you hear played out throughout WWE history. It's the irresistible force meets the immovable object. History has been made in the garden. Like, he had those sound bites, the chemistry that he had with everybody who he commentated with your Jesse Venturas, with the Bobby the Brain Heenans. Very, very good. He knew his role. He did it very well. And he was the voice of a generation.
Very good. He will appear in the next 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Number 3, as much as I love the man, I had to put Bobby at 3.
That's where Bobby is for me as well.
Bobby's 3. I mean, come on. We anyone who's been part of any conversation that has involved you and I know we love Bobby the Brain Heenan.
100%. 100%.
He was the guy that would make Gorilla go, would you stop?
Yeah, yeah. And Vince. Come on, Bobby.
I mean, and I talk about him at WrestleMania 8 a lot. Just the whole dum dum da dum dum da dum da dum da dum, like that whole thing.
His Royal Rumble 1992 performance alone puts him in the top 5 commentators of all time.
By the time he gets to the ring, McMahon, it'll be WrestleMania 37.
Oh, he's so great. What an act of cowardice.
I knew he was going to do that.
He's just great. The greatest heel commentator of all time. There is no one who touches him. He's the greatest heel commentator. Just a constant heel. Like, he never gave the baby faces any credit whatsoever. And that is what a heel commentator does. Him and Jesse understood their roles. I mean, you see it nowadays where Jesse Ventura no longer does the Saturday Night Main Event commentary because I don't think WWE get it. Like, they didn't let him fly off the handle. They didn't let him, tell why he had a problem with the cage match and stuff like that. They would have done the same with Bobby Heenan. Back in the 80s, it worked. In the early 90s, it worked. But with today, I just don't think people understand what a heel commentator is supposed to do. He's supposed to commentate on the things that don't make sense in the match, or just run down the baby face. That is a heel commentator. You get heel commentators these days, like your Corey Graves and your Wade Barrett's. To be fair, I'll give you that one. That was unnecessary. They didn't need to do that. No, a heel commentator is supposed to turn around and go, kick him again. You know? Like, he's a heel. Like, why are you feeling sorry for the baby face? Come on now.
Well, and that goes back to the whole, like, yeah, I was talking to, Coco Beware's mom's in the building, in the crowd tonight. You know what her name is, right? Tupper.
Oh, look, Coco's drowning in his own pants.
It's like, come on. So that's our number 3. So number 2 is, for me, Gorilla Monsoon.
That's more than fair. Yeah.
Gorilla is everything that you said. There's a reason why there's a position right before they go out to the stage, out for the match, called Gorilla position. There's a reason for that. He is the epitome of what a WWE backstage person, commentator, professional wrestler. If you go back and watch his old stuff, which is kind of hard to find nowadays, but there you can find it. He is the epitome of what a professional wrestler should be, and he took that professionalism to the commentary table, and then after that to the production stage. So that's just his whole collection of work that he did, and he had such an impact, like you said, on everything he touched. That's why he got number 2.
I can't argue with that at all. Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon is a solid choice, and like I said, if I had to put him outside the top 5, that would have been a personal crime to myself. Just the amount that I enjoyed him. I mean, and this is coming from someone who didn't grow up with Gorilla, that didn't grow up with Bobby, these guys, and I've actually had to go out and watch these shows from like before I was born, and God, they were just so good at what they did, and you can really hear the influence on the later generations of who they inspired. Gorilla Monsoon is just a consummate professional and one of the greatest to do it. My number 2 is, and I think this might upset people, or people might look at me and go, what, really? My number 2 is Mauro Ranallo.
See, he made my honorable mention. And I know that's one of Duelist's favorite as well, because we were talking about this yesterday. That's he like you said, got excited, or he gets excited when he. So that's
if there's literally videos online of the camera just on him, like commentating on matches, and I understand in the wrestling world, maybe his resume isn't as long as others. Obviously, in the fighting world in general, he has a longer resume. But Mauro Ranallo, for me, is everything I love about a commentator summed up into the modern generation. He has the catchphrases like your Mamma Mia's, and the excitement of when he's able to call moves. Like when AJ Styles does the Oshigoroshi, he calls it the Oshigoroshi. He knows the moves. He understands what the wrestling is. At the same time, he understands the pageantry of it. He gets excited when the Undisputed Era, or when Johnny Gargano finally won the big one in NXT. He gets excited. He understands what a big fight feel is. He turns a match from, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes into SmackDown into, wow, I want to sit down and watch this. And this spans every single division, the women's division, the men's division, the NXT division. And I have a very strong bias towards Mauro Ranallo, because my peak wrestling is NXT Black and Gold. I loved it. It was my thing. I would never miss an episode. NXT takeovers for me were always better than the normal pay-per-views that you got on WWE. And the voice of that was Mauro Ranallo. Nigel McGuinness, which is one of the reasons why he's on this list with his association with Mauro Ranallo, and Percy Watson. Fair play to Percy, being able to kind of just chip in every single, now and again between these two giants in commentary. Mauro Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix as a trio commentary desk. Fantastic work. And his commentary over the Tommaso Ciampa Gargano matches, iconic. His commentary over Adam Cole's iconic title reign was fantastic. His Asuka commentary, again, I keep using the word iconic, but he is associated with so many memories that I have with NXT, and that's why he makes my list number 2, Mauro Ranallo.
Okay.
I think our number 1 is going to be the same.
Yeah, I think it's good old JR, right?
Yes. It's got to be JR. It's got to be.
Because it's got to be Kane. That's got to be Kane. Like,
yes.
He's had so many. My God, he's broken in half.
Literally everything I've just said about Mauro Ranallo, JR with an extra 25 years experience. That's all I can say.
Well, here's my criteria for my top 10. Now, Michael Cole being the only exception, as far as like, because longevity got you more on my list. Michael was he's a product of being on a list that had the likes of Jim Ross, Monsoon, Heenan, Ventura, Jim Ross, Monsoon. Jim Ross did for the 90s and early 2000s what Gorilla and Heenan did for the 80s.
Agree. Totally agree.
And I think Michael Cole eventually will get into the number 4 spot over, say, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's still Jesse because of the voice, just because of the banter between. And if you look at it, my number 1 is a face, 2 is a face, and then I have 2 heels directly after.
Yeah.
But my honorable mention, my first one is Vince McMahon. Because he was a pioneer.
He was one of my honorable mentions as well. Yeah.
Mr. Perfect and him that Mr. Perfect also made my honorable mention. Just because I grew up watching WWF Superstars.
Yep.
And Perfect and McMahon and Piper. And Piper's
I was about to say, one of my honorable mentions is Piper, because as much as I would love to give him more credit, he didn't do it as much commentary-wise, but whenever he did commentary, he was very good at it.
Dusty Rhodes is another one that's on my honorable mention.
Yeah.
I made I don't know if I told the story on last week's episode, but
of the Heenan thing.
Yeah, the Heenan thing was amazing.
Yeah.
I think I did tell a story about it. For those that didn't watch it last week, Bobby Heenan and Dusty were on commentary for Halloween Havoc 97, and I want to say Shivani was in between them, and it was Mike Tenay. It was Mike Tenay in between them, and he goes, Dusty made this long drawn out, hey, you know what? This is what this, and this, and Bobby Heenan goes, well, this, and this, and Dusty goes, well, I just said that, and Bobby Heenan goes, yeah, but I said it in English.
Yeah. I tell you, someone else, and I feel like it's a crime that he's not on either of our lists, but I honestly couldn't replace him with anybody just because of the, like I say, so a lot of people on my list are on there because of osmosis, like your Taz's and your JR and your Jerry Lawler's. Tony Schiavone was like 11 or 12 for me. Very good.
He's on my honorable mention as well.
Yeah. I tell you who else is on my honorable mention as well. JBL.
I wasn't a big fan of his, so
I loved the pairing of Michael Cole and JBL. on SmackDown in like 2006 to about 2000 and late 2007.
Okay.
I thought the like JBL used to berate the baby faces and be so angry. And I remember when Booker T was the world heavyweight champion, and he was so biased towards Booker T. So great. One of my favorite B show pay-per-views is Armageddon 2006, and it's the one where it's Kane versus MVP in the Inferno match, and Kennedy versus Undertaker in the Last Ride match. And JBL is a very big part of that whole experience. And if anyone has ever watched that show, or anyone wants to go back and watch that show, you'll understand why. JBL is so good at his job on that night. I think he does fantastic. I had quite a few people like from the 80s and early 90s on my honorable mentions. I want to give a shout out to Kevin Kelly and Sean Mooney. Them two, when they commentated, were very good.
Well, I went also. I had Mean Gene and Lord Alfred Hayes. I know they didn't spend a lot of time on the table, but the voices in and of itself were where they're just iconic people.
Yeah.
I also have Eric Bischoff is on the list too, an honorable mention.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And of course Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman.
I had Paul Heyman. Yeah, I totally forgot about Jim Cornette.
But yeah. Is there anyone else on your honorable mention?
No, I haven't written anyone else down. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head very quickly. Like, have we missed any important names who we do need to give an honorable mention to? None of them's coming to mind right now. Do you know what? Like, at the moment, I will give an honorable mention to Vic Joseph. He's killing it at the moment on NXT. And I think it's only a matter of time before he gets his main roster, like, flowers. He's very, very good every single week. And I think when Michael Cole steps down, he should be the lead commentator because he's solid. And while I'm here, just talking about modern day people, screw it. Wade Barrett. I love Wade Barrett as a commentator. I think he's great, and I don't think he gets the flowers he deserves. I prefer Wade Barrett to Pat McAfee.
See, my brother asked me why Pat McAfee didn't make the top 10, or even because I read him my list before we came out, or before I left work, and he's like, what? No Pat McAfee? I'm like, Pat hasn't been around long enough to be justified put on my top 10.
I don't think he's been consistent enough either. That, in my opinion, like I said, his initial run on SmackDown was fantastic. Then, as I say, the returns started to like decline for me. Every single time he's come back, he's gotten less entertaining, and I feel like at this point, his sole purpose when he comes back is to make Michael Cole laugh.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I just don't think he's as good as he was.
So next up, we're going to talk Cena's return to pro wrestling, or to the WWE for his farewell tour.
Yeah.
So back, it was late last year when he announced that he was coming back for his farewell tour. It was late 2024. He came out. He's like, I'm gonna retire at the end of 2025. I'm done. At that point, what was your initial thought on that?
I was sad. I was expecting it a little bit. I won't lie. I mean, his appearances became less frequent. His abilities in the ring became less solid, which is fine. I mean, the guy's getting up there and he's not in ring shape anymore. Understandable. So when he said he was having a retirement year, my initial thought is amazing. We're gonna get the hits, like the matches that we want. How about you? How did you feel when you first heard about it?
So a little bit about obviously I have merch. I don't like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I hated him, because I didn't hate John Cena. he's one of the greatest, and I'm going to steal a line from Cody Cornette. He is one of the greatest characters Vince and the WWE created.
Yeah.
Period. The hustle, loyalty, respect stuff. He was Hulk Hogan minus the racism.
And the mustache.
Yeah, and yeah, he didn't have a Fu Manchu. Like,
Yeah.
and he didn't say brother, brother, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said you can't see me, and turned Hogan had brother, what you gonna do, brother, and we went from what you gonna do, brother, to you can't see me. I mean,
You can't see me.
you can't see me. The whole world can see you. No, Cena, like I said, and I will never discredit what Cena accomplished. He was that generation's Hogan. And there's nothing wrong with that. He did what he was the golden goose.
Yeah, he was the man. He was the merch seller. He was the main eventer. He was he was everything that WWE needed at the time. They needed ruthless aggression, and he gave them.
Yeah. So that being said, it was kind of like it didn't. I wasn't sad. It was more along the lines of, okay, now he can go and do what he needs to do and live a life. You know what I mean? He can go do more things like Peacemaker and go and make movies and make me laugh. And because he deserves it. He deserves to have the farewell tour, have the banter that he is getting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wasn't my childhood hero. So it was like, okay, I didn't have that connection like most of the IWC has with Cena.
Sweet.
So
like going from that to the elephant in the room. Going from the childhood hero to a lot of people. Elimination Chamber comes around. The Rock, take care of it. Turns heel. Now we're here. We had the run from Cena as a heel. Do you feel like we got the best of what a Cena heel run could be?
No. I honestly think we missed the boat on a lot of things. But to back it up, the only reason we didn't get the heel run that we all should have gotten was because of two people. Travis Scott and Dwayne Johnson. Those are the two people that, in my opinion, fumbled this heel run for Cena. Travis Scott going into business for himself at Mania and taking a half hour to get down to the goddamn ring and ruined that WrestleMania that main event against Cody Rhodes.
I'll never forgive him for that.
And I'm thankful that WWE cut ties with the guy because he sucks. Travis Scott can just never be. I hope he never steps foot back in the WWE arena ever again.
Yeah.
And Dwayne not showing up more often and helping him build that character, like he said, okay, you're my guy, finish him, and then he just leaves.
Yeah, I want you sold. Like, where have you taken it? Because you've not come back.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Cena has his soul back now because he's face again.
and I might be overreacting when I say this, but I'll proceed it by saying Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon controlled WWE got a lot of flack for the way they handled their heel turns, their baby faces, their storylines in general. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. The IWC constantly gave Vince a lot of crap. I think Triple H has improved on it for the most part. Sometimes we've seen some misses. This for me, and I don't think I'm over exaggerating when I say this, is the biggest mismanaged heel turn of all time. And not just because it's John Cena, but because of the potential it could have given. And the fact that we will never get another opportunity to do this again. Going back to the whole Cena's retiring at the end of the year. It could not have been handled any worse. It started off great. It comes out at Brussels. You get nothing. You deserve nothing. Justified. I understand that. The last real champion. The weeks go on. The Rock doesn't show up. The Rock says nothing. Travis Scott shows up at WrestleMania. What the hell was that? After WrestleMania, The Rock still doesn't show his face. Nothing to back up, no explanation to back up why Cena is still a heel. We get to SummerSlam, and for no reason, seemingly, Cena starts to feel a bit of remorse and to feel sad.
Well, it wasn't even at SummerSlam. It was the night before.
This is what I'm saying. Like heading up to SummerSlam, there was no reason why Cena should get any remorse, but he did. He started to get remorse. Everything was still going well for him at this point. He was still winning matches. He was still the champion. So I didn't understand that. Now we're just supposed to accept him. He's still getting announced to the ring as the Never Seen 17, the last real champion, but now he's a babyface. And the only thing different is he has his Titantron turned back on. What the hell was that? What were we doing? What was the point? I don't get the point. What a waste of time. I do feel genuinely robbed. I really feel robbed. And you could have twisted this in a way where, okay, maybe The Rock doesn't want to be a part of this. Maybe The Rock can't be a part of this as much. Okay, fine. I don't care about the Travis Scott bit. He can go swivel for all I care. But the fact that you just made him come out and do the same promos every single week, you didn't give him any henchmen or anything, pisses me off. It really pisses me off.
Well, Matt the Duelist comes in and he says, heel Cena gave us the Cena pipe bomb. My reaction to that, Matt, it's a regurgitation of the greatest talker of possibly his own generation, CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk, honestly, his the Punkonomics gimmick was far better than Cena doing copying his pipe bomb.
Here's my thing as well about that. And okay, fine, we got a good promo. But if we're looking at this, and the best thing that we can seriously say is the best thing that we got out of a 6-month-long Cena heel turn is a promo, a good promo from John Cena. Newsflash, he did them anyway when he was a babyface. He's already good at promos. I wanted to see a different side of Cena. This could have been so special. We could have lived through this and looked back. This could have been Hulk Hogan in 1996. If you were alive and you were watching wrestling at the time, you will remember where you were. If you weren't and you've gone back and watched it because you've wanted to watch and go back and watch the old wrestling, the NWO days, it's still in your memory of one of the most iconic moments. Cena, for me, feels like he has gone backstage, had a panicky conversation with Triple H and gone, this isn't working. We need to change this. Because all of a sudden, it's like people are worse around him as well. It's not just him that's gotten worse. It's people, and I can't believe I'm saying this word again on the same podcast, by osmosis around him. What the hell was that we saw from R-Truth on SmackDown? Oh, we're just going back to normal R-Truth just because Cena's a good guy now? So Ron Killings doesn't get to do what he wants to do. Cody Rhodes is just as bland and forgets everything that Cena did just because Cena's a good guy now. What are we doing? Sorry, I know I'm going on a bit of a run.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Because I kind of agree. I mean, for the most part, I agree. The Cena heel turn should have happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
While he could have, the Cena heel turn should have happened like almost. It would have been cool to see him and say a lot of people talk about the future of the business, and we talk about Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. Have those two guys be the outsiders, if you will. Like those guys, have Cena be the leader of those two of that tandem.
I agree.
You know, like make those guys do. You talking about the Cena rub and getting guys over? That would have been the time to do it.
I think I
hope my last thing for the Cena whole thing is, and Cody watching this snickering right now because he knows where I'm going with this because I talked to him about this earlier. Cena's last match, if they do it right, which I hope they do Cena right on this one, he needs to win that last match and ride off into the sunset and be done. He should not. If they book him to lose that last match, that's a slap in the face to Cena. In my opinion,
it depends if he's old school, because a lot of old school guys like to go out on the back, don't they?
Yeah, but he needs to go off. I think he's young enough that I think he just needs to ride off into the sunset with a win. And I personally, I would hope that it's The Rock. That I hope he calls out The Rock and be like, hey, listen, screw you. You weren't there for me this whole year. I want you to show your face or something along those lines. Or The Rock maybe decides, well, you fucked up. You screwed up. And you didn't take care of business. When I told you to take Cody out, you couldn't get the job done.
So here's my thing, and it relates to what you're saying. If 6 months from now, this was all part of the long game, and the picture starts to make sense, I will come on here and I'll say, you know what, I was wrong. Like, it was worth the journey. But as for right now, what annoys me the most about the Cena heel turn, this Cena heel turn, is I was really looking forward to the hits this year. I was looking forward to the final year of Cena getting his due, having all these great matches with his greatest opponents and stuff like that. What pisses me off the most is in 10 years' time, and someone goes, "Did you enjoy Cena's last year?" I can't emphatically say yes. I'll have to say it was all right. Or I'll have to say I didn't mind it, but this should have been an easy softball for WWE. Bring out all of John Cena's greatest opponents, your Randy Ortons, your CM Punks, Brock Lesnar, even, whatever. Sprinkling a couple of the new guys so we can put them over. Easy softball for WWE. And somehow they have screwed up. And it taints his last year for me. And that winds me up. And it's the same. I'll relate it. It's not as bad as the Cena's last year, but it taints it in the same way that I feel about Kurt Angle's last match.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it.
You talk about Kurt Angle's last match. Who, in your opinion, should be... How would you book Cena's last match?
It's difficult because I think it should be The Rock. If I'm being honest with you, I would have liked it to have been Randy Orton, but they've already done that match. So it either needs to be The Rock or it needs to be a new guy. It needs to be either someone who they want to put over in NXT, or it needs to be one of the young guys on the main roster, like your Braun Breakers, for example. And if that is the case, I would like Braun Breaker to win. At least we get something out of it. A new star is born, you know? Like, you know, we head into 2026. Kind of like how Solo, I know he lost every single match afterwards, but it kind of made Solo feel like a big deal when he went into the Saudi show and beat 2 shades of shit out of John Cena. It made him feel important.
Now, you agree. Okay, so right now, if Cody is watching, he's snickering and laughing because you just agreed with him. I spent about 20 minutes yelling at Cody, so I don't have the energy to do that to you. I just don't think putting over a young person now, that match doesn't make sense because it's not for anything. It's not for a championship anymore. It's not for it really is not for anything other than to have a match at this point. I think the only like storyline stuff that's going on that would be able to propel it would be The Rock.
And if it is against The Rock, I think Cena should win.
Yeah. But yeah. I just don't see how they could book a younger talent being his last match without there being a title up for grabs or something along those lines, because you're just going to be like, well, I'm having an open challenge for my last match. Who's going to come out and beat me? And to me, that doesn't, like.
In a perfect world, I don't want it to be that. I would like it to be a match. Because we all know when his final match is going to be. I would like it to be in a perfect world where we book this over a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or two. You know, where it's because I think it's more symbolic rather than for a championship. And again, like it's one of those old school things. Like you go out on your back, right? Like that is generally the thing that happens. And I think that if it isn't going to be a younger talent, then maybe it should be someone who, you know, kind of needs the rub on the main roster, or needs like a big break on the main roster. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I don't have a specific name in mind, but maybe that could be a conversation that we could have later on for this pod. But
what would your thoughts be? Again, this is a really big stretch, and this is just something that popped into my head. What would your thoughts be if Cody came out and said, "All right, I want to be your last match. We put on 2 bangers this year. Let's go for the trilogy. You and me one more time for this belt, and we can tell me if you can win, like, and be the last real champion." And that turns into a Cody heel turn.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. My answer was going to be, I would only accept it if we get a Cody heel turn, or that is the start of the domino effect to the eventual heel turn of Cody. It's like what I suggested to you at the at the SummerSlam pod. I think that we need to start sowing the seeds of Cody, like maybe using some heel tactics to win, or maybe underhandedly winning matches. You beat Cena underhandedly in his last match, or you cheat, or something like that. There's some heat right there.
Yeah.
But if he just wins cookie cutter, brother, heel face, the baby face, Cody wins, lol. I'd hate that. I would hate it so much.
I mean, it's just something that I was thinking about. It's like, is that a possibility? Probably not.
No,
But
I think it is a possibility, dude. I think it is. To be honest with you, he's probably in my top 5. I won't say choices, but predictions wise, he's in my top 5 people to being seen his last match.
okay. I mean, so I'm just throwing these. I mean, is it gonna be Cody, Braun Breaker?
I think
The
Braun Breaker's
Rock,
a good shout.
The
The
Rock.
Rock, yep.
Cody thinks it should be Gunther.
Gunther's a good one. I don't think Gunther needs it, but Gunther's a good one.
And I don't like the 5th one is really. Imagine if you will, because again, Cody brought this to my attention, and it's something he saw on TikTok. October 20th is Adam Copeland's last day of his contract.
Yes, immediately. Yes, you don't even have to explain it to me. That would be perfect. That in my opinion, that is Cena's greatest rival, Edge.
Why not? I mean, would it be? I think it'd be really cool if Cena was at the Saturday night's main event. Whatever. He's out in his jorts, out, saying, thank you. This is supposed to be my last match, but we didn't have anything planned. And then you think you know me,
brother. Say no more. Like, yeah. You're selling shit to a dung beetle at this point. 100%.
I mean,
is
it a nostalgia act? Fuck yeah, it's a nostalgia act.
You goddamn right it is, and it's the best nostalgia act to have. Yeah, are you crazy? Of course. Like these two came up together, Edge and Cena. Like they were 2006 is iconic for a reason. Like it's down as one of fans' favorites years in wrestling because Edge and Cena were going at each other the whole year. It was fantastic. It was great. Like I said, in my opinion, Cena's best rival. For me, it goes Edge, Punk, Orton.
That's fair. Another name that has been tossed around. Andrew said it a couple times. My son. What about Batista? But last time I checked, Batista was skin and bones. Like he had lost a lot of his weight. He doesn't look like the animal anymore. So
yeah, I think he's preparing for a role. Yeah, I think he's preparing for like a role where he has to be skinny or something. I'm not sure. I had a name in mind, and considering his whole thing is like he thinks the system's against him, like, and I think it would make sense like for him to destroy what he sees as the system. I honestly would not mind if Cena's last opponent was Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
And I would like it to be Drew McIntyre because, let's be completely honest, Drew McIntyre has done the best work of his career over the past 2 years, and he has not been given the flowers for it at all. He is always on the losing end of rivalries. I think a victory against Cena in his last match would be great. It'd be a great way to send him into 2026.
There's just a lot of, and again, for me, another reason why I don't think that I want to see Cena win, because he has done everything for the company. He's given his life to WWE. And what better way to see him to the next journey of his life but to put him over one last time?
See, and this is the thing, like I'm not even disagreeing with you, and you make a perfect point of he's given everything to the business. I feel like it's within his character to turn around and say, I want to give one last thing to the business, and that's to put over the next generation. Yeah, it would not surprise me if that was his mindset, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, God damn it! You see the way you talk and you explain it to me. It makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
Like
what I said. I'm not disagreeing with you. It'd be cool to see him win his last match, but the way I know Cena is and how much he loves the business, like obviously he's always said for years, he's the first one there and the last one to leave. There is no one who I would consider more of a person to say, I want to put this guy over in my last match. I want to make sure that WWE is here for another 25 years. And if it starts with me putting this guy over, then yeah, that it's Cena. That is totally a Cena thing to do.
now, do you think this time? Well, do you think April next year we'll be seeing Cena inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I would like to think so because number one, obviously he deserves it. First ballot Hall of Famer. If anything, he's one of those guys who probably should be like the only one to go in on that year. Like he's that big and he's that important. Kind of like how like Undertaker should have really been the only person to go in that year. Like an Andre the Giant. It's a situation where does Cena want to go in immediately or does he want to leave it a couple of years?
See, as long as he doesn't pull, and again, I'm a big guy with not nostalgia, but just it like I've said it before about the Hardys. I think they're somewhat ruining their aura. They're ruining their reputation. Not I don't want to even say reputation. Okay. So Matt brought this up. Needs to be Joe Hendry for his last match.
I can't agree with that. I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, I respect that. But
I just don't want. I don't want them to ruin. Oh no! Okay, it's a legacy. I'm big with legacy. That's what I was trying to. I don't like. I didn't like when Michael Jordan came back with the Wizards. It ruined his legacy. Like it kind of tarnished his career legacy. I just hope that Cena, when he leaves, closes the door behind him, turns the light off in the arena because he is the last one leaving, and just leaves, and doesn't come back like Rey Mysterio,
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, just go away. Not go away, but you're done. Just
leave the memories. Leave the memories alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rey, in my opinion, over the last 2 years, because it was 2 years ago he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, right?
I believe so. It was the year that he faced Dom at WrestleMania. So yeah, whenever that was.
He goes into the Hall of Fame and he's constantly hurt. He hasn't. When's the last time he had a match? Like,
it's been a while. It's been a minute. And I will say this about Rey Mysterio as well. And like what annoys me about Rey, it doesn't annoy me, but this is just a fact. And this is why Rey needs to go away. And no offense to Rey, he's one of my favorites of all time. I love Rey. This is just a fact. No luchador will ever get over as long as Rey Mysterio is still there.
And he's a deadbeat dad.
He's a dick of a dad. Exactly. Yeah. But that's just a fact. No luchador will be as big as Rey because Rey is still there. So
yeah,
there's a reason why Dragon Lee's been floundering for 3 years. He was supposed to be the next Rey, right?
And quite honestly, Dom will go down as the greatest Guerrero of all time.
Greatest Guerrero of all time. I mean, look at Dom. Like, Dom's great. You know why? Because he didn't wear a fucking mask. He's not a luchador, so yeah, So Rey needs to step away. Like for someone like the closest thing to a bona fide luchador star at the moment, and they need to start booking him better. Penta, he is so over with the crowd, and they are going to miss the boat with Penta if they don't start quickly. I just want to touch on what you said, Matt, about Joe Hendry. I didn't mean to immediately dismiss the comment. It's more of a case of, I like Joe Hendry, but there is a lot of work we would need to do to build him up for him to be seen as last opponent. And there is just not enough time to do that. There just is not. You know, like he's featuring on NXT at the moment. Yeah, he had that match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but he's not even popped his head up on the main roster. I don't even know if he's employed with WWE yet. Like, I think he's still with TNA. So there'd be a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, and I think it would feel forced and contrived. So I think we should focus on people, like I say, the younger talent, or The Rock, or a nostalgia opponent. But that's all I'll say on it.
So we're a little over an hour in. We got another like 10, 15 minutes. I want to do a quick little plug tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern time, which would be 6:30 for Rhys. My brother and I will be sitting down and talking to the one, the only Eric Watts, Cowboy Bill Watts' son, Eric Watts. We're going to talk about his TNA run. We're going to be talking about his WCW stuff, and of course, being around his dad for as long as he was alive.
That's a cool interview that you've managed to get there, dude.
And then October 23rd will be our next one after that, when we will be talking with the one half of the American Males, Mr. Buff Bagwell.
He's buff, he has the stuff, and he's on the pod.
Yes. So that's the two big interviews we got coming short in the next month. 2 months. That's October 23rd. So we got about 2 months for that one. Don't forget the premiere episode for Breaking the Huddle with me and my brother. We're going to be talking everything American football, that's college and the NFL. That will be every Thursdays at 1:00 Eastern time. And then, of course, Friday is the big show, the flagship show for Huge Pop Entertainment. It is Break It Down Podcast. It is Rico, Nikki D, my brother, Rhys, and myself. We will be talking everything wrestling, whatever comes up. And who knows, we might even do a list or two along the way as well.
We love
we love our list. I don't know what our next list will be, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that off air. Don't you worry. I've got a couple of ideas in mind.
Good. But yeah, do you have anything that you're working on specifically?
Nothing that I'm working on at the moment. Just stay tuned to obviously Huge Pop Entertainment. I've got a load of content coming up for you guys. Blood Feud Radio, second week in a row. We're killing it. We're just gonna keep on with the momentum. Looking forward to the Friday podcast. Only thing that I will say in terms of my channels is stay tuned for the TikTok videos that I'm planning to upload. Try to get back into it as more frequently at Rudy Poo Wrestling. But yeah, just keep on watching the content, man. We've got a lot coming.
And just want to say a special thanks for Matt To-Do-List for stopping out and chiming in. We love the interaction. It actually it'll help some of these times where we're just filling the void. But be completely honest with you, I don't think we're gonna have a void at all. I think we're two big old windbags who like to talk wrestling. And so again, guys, appreciate you all, and we'll catch you next time.